Aloha and welcome to the Ko'ohana Adventure Podcast. My name is Amanda,
I'm Eric.
and today we'll be going over our 3-night stay in Williams and Grand Canyon trip. We will talk about places we visited, where we stayed, and where we ate, and give you our personal experiences and feedback. If you're planning a trip in this area, this is a great overview of the area. You can find our full itinerary in the description. The document will also include other things to do that we did not do.
This is actually our first podcast, and why we decided to do this podcast is to provide information. We love to travel. We try to research the area, create like an itinerary for our family. We have two little kids, and so we want to provide the best experience for everybody when we get there.
So we have a trailer. In a lot of our itineraries, we'll be most likely camping in our trailer. Sometimes we're in a hotel, but most of the time we're going to be in our trailer. This trip specifically, we stayed at Raptor Ranch. And if you've ever heard of the Flintstones Bedrock City in Arizona, they actually bought Bedrock City in 2019 and they turned it into Raptor Ranch, where they have birds of prey. It's basically a birds of prey park. They do have 36 RV sites. They also have tent sites, now brand new glamping tents. So
yeah, it's a pretty cool experience. So this is day one, right? We went there. We drove from Las Vegas. It's about 4 hours. The drive was pretty easy. The address is in Williams, but it's more closer to like Grand Canyon Junction, I think.
Vail.
Yeah,
It's in Vail.
Oh, it's in Vail. Okay. Like what Amanda said, it's really cool. There's 36 RV sites. It seems like it's kind of brand new that they put in the sites. Like we could be wrong, but a lot of the campsites or RV sites there, but there's only 5 full hookup spots. Meaning like we have a little camper trailer that, have a kitchen, shower, bathroom, everything in there, right? And so if partial hookup is usually just water and power. Sometimes it just kind of depends. But we didn't have the sewer line hookup.
Okay, so there are 5 full hookup spots with water, sewer, and electricity. All the other sites are considered full service septic, meaning they have a pumper wagon that goes through the park twice a week, which was Tuesday and Thursday. I don't know if that changes, but that's what it was when we were there. Unfortunately, we were there from Friday to Monday, so we totally missed it. If you are camping on the weekend and don't have that service, they did say you have access to the RV dump station as many times as you want, but it's a little inconvenient. So, I mean, you gotta kind of think about that. We were fine. We stuck to it and we showered in the showers that were provided instead of using our RV or trailer shower. But also, a funny story is we hadn't used our trailer for like 3 months, and then we turned on the water and it smelled like rotten eggs. It was so disgusting. So we wouldn't have wanted to shower in our shower.
Yeah, I think we left the water in there from a last trip, and so now we know.
Yeah, we're learning.
We're still rookie. Well, it's the second year, but we're still kind of learning. We try to travel as much as you can, but we're not full time RVers.
Yeah, we do maybe like 10 trips a year or less.
But back to the RV site, it's really, really cool. Flintstone theme. And then you have the Raptors demonstrations and everything. And it's actually really, really neat. Like if you look on our YouTube, some of the videos we posted at our Kohana channel, we have some shorts on, our kids are interacting with like the Raptors and everything. And the staff is super, super awesome there. Part of the amenities, the Raptor demonstration is free, but if you don't stay there, you don't need to stay in the RV park if you don't have to. You can just go into Bedrock City and the Raptor Ranch just for the day or whatever.
It's $10.
It's $10 to see everything, really. So it's pretty cool, especially if you have kids. They will have an amazing time just playing the Bedrock City because it slides off the dinosaur's back and, things like that.
You literally feel like you're in the cartoon. It's really cool. I liked it a lot. The kids don't know what Flintstones are, but they still enjoyed it. Some of the structures is like a schoolhouse. There's Bedrock Jail, grocery store, Fred and Barney's house. They also have seesaws, swings, and a caveman challenge, which was like a ninja course. Our kids love that stuff, so it was like nonstop fun. They also have this area where the goats are, but they call them goatosauruses, and they have like a wall painted with dinosaurs, and then when the goat pokes their head out, they look like a dinosaur. It's super cute.
Yeah.
But you can feed them, and they have a big pit. Bedrock City isn't necessarily new. It's been around for 50 years. It's been a roadside attraction based on the 1960s Flintstones, like what we mentioned before. It was first first opened in the 1970s and closed in 2019. Raptor Ranch acquired the property and they promised to keep it open indefinitely.
Yeah, it's really, really, really cool. Now, to be honest with you, when we first got there, a lot of the infrastructures and things like that were needs update. It's been there for a long time, and I think the time we went, it was actually hurricane. Well, actually, it was raining a lot, and so some of the things were like hiding in one of the structure, and you can tell like the water is kind of leaking a little bit. Definitely some work to improve on, but as far as everything else, like we spoke to some of the people that have been there before, like probably a year or two ago. They said that they
They
made
keep
like
adding
big
things.
improvement
Yeah.
to the facility, where like you said in the cartoon.
Yeah.
The kids had a lot of fun. Just hang out there.
Another addition that they brought in is that they have a lot of raptors, like birds of prey. You can walk around, they're all over the place. There's cages and you can look at them. And then they also have raptor demonstrations that are held 3 times a day. It's different every single time and is a different bird. You'll meet with a falconer and they will talk about the bird that they have at that moment and do some exercises with them. Sometimes they fly like towards you, but they are so good at flying that they don't hit you. They did.
No, they hit my head one time. Like that bird. Well, I think it was because it was raining and it kind of threw the bird off. I don't know, but it like the wing just kind of hit
A
my head a
little.
little bit.
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
He's being dramatic.
No. Well, it's not that bad. Like it didn't knock me out or anything. It just kind of like, whoa, I didn't expect that.
But it was cool. We also got to hold a hawk. Our kids held one as well. It was really cool. That was really neat.
The owl, they have a really beautiful owl
Yeah,
there
I'm
too. I
in
forgot
love
the
with
name of
that.
it.
Wicket.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Super cool.
He's very talkative, but he was having a bad day. So it cut the demonstration short. But it's a beautiful bird.
But it's really cool, those falconers, right? Is that what you call
Yeah,
it?
and
They're super passionate about their
Mhm.
birds, and you can talk to them for days, and they can explain to you the different birds, what they do, their personalities, and everything. I didn't realize that it's such a thing. To be honest with you, I never knew that you can go hunt with them. You can do a lot of things with these falcons.
Or to use them for pigeon control. Like I never even thought about
Yeah,
that. That's kind of cool.
Maybe we should get one for our house. A lot of pigeons outside. Well, we got 2 little kids, so
Yeah,
can
they
handle it.
run after them. So there's Bedrock City, there's the Raptor demonstrations, there's like all these fun things for the kids to do. They also have free Wi-Fi, a laundry room, grocery store on site, showers. They have Fred's Diner where you could order food.
Yeah, they have a little diner there that they serve food, pizza, that kind of stuff. They got alcohol, beers, whatever.
They do?
Yeah.
I didn't see.
Yeah,
Oh.
they do. It's a pretty cool experience. We had a lot of fun doing that.
Yes. And then also in the morning, they have S&J Mobile Cafe, which is kind of like a food truck.
It
and
is a food truck.
anyone can go, obviously. It's on the side of the road, but it's within the property. The food was pretty good. And then we didn't get to do the coffee because Monday was a holiday. And when
It was Labor Day.
Yeah,
weekend.
they were closed. So I
Yeah.
was so bummed. But just from like reviews, everybody loves their coffee. They have fresh squeezed orange juice, which I didn't know. They serve coffee, teas, hot cocoa, mud water. If you don't know what that is, it's like a mushroom base. And then they put steamed milk in it. And then they serve just like breakfast, burger, tamales, sandwiches, quesadillas, bowls. You had a bowl, right?
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
I forgot what I had, like some sort of breakfast bowl with like potatoes and like meat and
Eggs.
eggs.
Yeah.
It's actually really good. I didn't expect that from a food truck.
Yeah, so it's a pretty good place, even if you're not staying and maybe you're heading to Grand Canyon. That's a perfect place to stop to get some breakfast.
Yeah.
They do open at 5 a.m. and their breakfast starts at 6 a.m. and it runs to 11 a.m.
Yeah, one benefit of staying in the RV park is that we just wake up early in the morning and we'll just walk to the food truck and then we'll just grab the food and walk back to our camper trailer and just hang out there. So that's one one benefit of staying there. So the RV park is like located on, it's like on the main road.
64, I think.
I think it's on the main road, like you can't miss it. So there's a lot of, you can always just drive past it and stop by. You see it from the road. They're really good. The food, customer service, awesome.
Oh, yeah. So we stayed in Site 12 and we really liked it. We were the furthest away, but we didn't mind because we like privacy and our kids are loud. So we don't like to interrupt other people's privacy, and quiet time. So we chose the furthest, and that sites 12 through 25 are closest to the main road, which is State Route 64. So that's the one that you take to go to Grand Canyon. I was kind of worried that we would hear cars all night, but no, it was actually pretty quiet and it didn't bother me at all. So I recommend those sites 100%.
Yeah. I mean, we stay at some RV sites
So
really
loud. Yeah.
We're surprised that it wasn't that loud. So we got there like, what time did we left Las Vegas around like early in the morning, not that early, but like around 9 a.m. We got there like a little bit after 1. Took a couple stops at Kingman, we ate and stuff like that. So we got there like around 1 or 2,
I think 2 o'clock. And
2?
then we checked in, hooked up the trailer, and then we were able to get to the last Raptor demonstration. Midway through, it started pouring, but Ashley was our trainer that was doing the demonstration, and she was so sweet and so passionate. She told us to go in one of the structures, and then she was going to bring out another bird so that we could hold him because it was pouring, and we obviously couldn't do anything with birds out there. So it was kind of nice that she just didn't say, hey, it's raining, it's over. She just kept going, and since we were interested, she was happy to like share, so I really appreciate it.
Yeah, she was really passionate about every one of them.
All of them.
Very passionate about birds and falcons and raptors and things like that. So after that, kids are hungry, so we drove to Williams.
Yep.
The actual town of Williams, this historic town. We went to this one
Frontier
restaurant.
Family Fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. The reviews were okay, but I liked it because it had like a big beer garden area with like activities like cornhole, Connect Four, ping pong, gem mining, shooting gallery, Jenga, and some other stuff. Like we didn't get through everything. It was a great place to bring like smaller kids because they can run around. Like if your kids are like our kid, they can't sit still.
Oh, it's the barbecue place.
Yes, the barbecue place. Yes. We ordered brisket chili, sarsaparilla for the kids, which is like a root beer. They got chicken nugget fries. You had the chili, but then you ordered something else.
No, I had a
sandwich or something?
No, I had a brisket.
Yeah. Well, my favorite thing out of the whole thing was the brisket and the brisket chili. Those were my favorite. The brisket was really good. The ribs were kind of dry, so it wasn't as good, but maybe it was a one-off thing. I don't know if it's always like that.
But it's a really good place. It's huge. Remind me of Texas or something, one of those like barbecue rib places. They had live music. There was a performer there, sing some country songs and things like that. A lot of places for kids to play. They have this mining experience, kind of like one of those. I mean, you see them everywhere when you travel. They have this like water filtering to the mines and sifting through like the jams and the rocks and stuff. And the kids love that kind of stuff. Our kids,
we do it like everywhere.
It's like every time they see it, it's like, oh man, maybe we should just like every time they see that, they want to get a bag of like jams and stones, even though they have like plenty.
Yeah. So overall, we liked Frontier Family Fun. It was a lot of family fun. So their name is pretty awesome for what they provide. After that, we just went back to camp and just hung out and went to sleep. The next morning, we explored Bedrock City again. Every single day we went there, and it's nonstop fun. Like they never got bored. So honestly, if you stay there, like you could live there basically.
Yeah, like back
and
to
not go anywhere else.
Back to Williams, it's about 30 minutes from our campsite. The drive is pretty easy. It's just a straight shot.
For day 2, we explored Bedrock City. We ate lunch, and then we headed over to Williams. Went to Canyon Coaster Adventure. They are open year-round, so even if you're there when it's snowing, I think they still do it. It was pouring when we were there, on and off, and they kept it on. So I'm assuming if it's snowing, it's still going to be ready.
It's really fun. It's like a coaster that's built on a mountain. I think it's like a good 5 miles, it's
a 1 mile long.
1 mile long, but it takes about 5 to 7 minutes, depending on how fast you go. stressful because you're in charge of your own speed. Like they have these carts, they have brakes on the side, so you can like just let it go and just let it rip, or you can slow it down or whatever. So that really kind of up to you. The kids had a lot of fun. You're allowed to kind of have the little one in front of you, and then you just kind of steer in the back, or you can go solo.
Yeah, you have to be 18 years old to steer, I believe. And adults are $20. A child that is 38 feet to 54 feet is $10.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was raining when we were there. And even with it raining, we had to wait an hour in line.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it's much longer if it's nice weather. So just be prepared for that. At the end, you can purchase a video and a picture package, which is like $16.55. But it's really fun, like seeing our
yeah, there's a camera on each cart and just record you throughout the whole ride.
Yeah.
And so it will capture everything, all your expressions, your screaming, your laughters, everything, which is really cool. These are the kind of moments that you want to capture, especially if you have kids. So we decided to purchase them. It's just a one-time thing. You don't have to, but we figure it's a one-time thing. We can use it for our YouTube channel and things like that too. So yeah, it was good. And it's funny, like of what it captured. So
yeah, and they also have mountain tubing in the summer and then winter tubing in the winter.
It was closed when we went because I think
it was raining. They closed it. Yeah,
but I can see because the Williams it snows over there.
It does.
So yeah, snow tubing sounds kind of fun.
Yeah, so
it's not that big though. So like I don't know if you haven't been to Williams, it's not a very big city. It's a small historic town, and they have train station there that goes all the way to Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
It takes about 3 hours. We did it one time. I was like really long. But it's a good experience if you haven't tried. But the town itself is really small. It's literally just a one way. Like you drive in, you come back around. Like it's literally 1 minute, maybe like 3 blocks.
Yeah,
3 or 4 blocks of like the downtown. Like you can see the whole town by just like driving in. It is one way. So one way in, one way out, pretty much.
There's also a bar and grill at the Grand Canyon Coaster. So if you wanted to eat there, you could. But we did not. We went straight to Grand Canyon Deer Farm. And
this is on day 2.
This deer farm is on 10 acres. They raise the animals from birth, so that's why you can feed them and stuff because they've
domesticated.
Yep. Yeah. They have other animals, include like wallabies, llamas, bison, porcupines, mini horses, and mini donkeys. I don't know if I've ever seen mini donkeys before.
Yeah.
Alpacas, a zonkey, that was pretty cool. Peacocks, goats. And there's this cockatoo named Mozart that talks to you. He's so cute and funny. The kids enjoy communicating with him. It was really funny. And they are also open year round. So if you are there in the winter, that's a nice spot. And then also Eric mentioned the railroad. They do have like some Christmas activities there too. So for the train ride.
The deer farm was, I enjoyed it. The kids enjoyed it, because there's like probably 30, 40, 50 plus.
She said 100.
No, but that come up to you.
Oh god, yeah. They like swarm you. So
they're kind of like aggressive, not in a bad way. They just want food because you can feed them, right? And they're used to feeding, like getting fed. And so like you go in, it's like a double gate, double fence, double gate. You go in, right? And then they just swamp with like food and stuff.
So if you have smaller kids, it could be intimidating. Our kids, I think they wanted to, but they're like the same height as the deer. So like, can you imagine them like swarming all over you and they're like your height? It's kind of scary. Well, intimidating, you know what I mean? They're not gonna bite you, and like I never got bit and I was feeding them the whole time, but
there's a couple of them that like to bite your shirt.
Yeah, they suck in your shirt, and the guy said it's because they're used to being bottle fed.
So they
I thought they were being rude, but it's because of that.
Yeah.
We were corrected. So don't wear nice clothes because you'll get spit all over.
Yeah.
And I would definitely wear shoes.
But they're so cute though. They're like super adorable,
Yeah.
And they seem very happy and healthy. Sometimes you go to these places where like, the animal just doesn't look right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this one, they're pretty good.
And this is also kind of like a zoo. So I mentioned all the animals. So you can feed them in the open field where they're all just hundreds of deers just roaming freely. And then you can also walk around and all the other animals are there for you to look at. Your ticket that you buy is good for the whole day. So like let's say you go in the morning, you hang out a little bit and then you go eat, you can always come back if your kids really enjoy it. So it's that ticket's good for the whole day.
Yeah, that's one thing good about it. It's like you can go in and out if you need to come back, take a break.
And then they also have other interactive programs. So, like, let's say if you wanted to hang out with a porcupine, you could pay extra for that. And they have like a zookeeper program at extra cost as well.
And how much should we pay?
For just the regular tickets?
Yeah.
I think it was like $16.
$16. So it is pretty.
Adult 16, children 3 to 13 is $9, and then you have to pay extra for the food. And I can't remember how much it was.
It wasn't that much. It was a couple bucks. Yeah. I think it's pretty fair, pretty reasonable. It's not over the top.
And remember, it's open for the whole day for you. That
Yeah.
one ticket. When you feed them, your hands get all slimy with all their saliva. They do have washing stations, so those are available. And you do want your kids to wash their hands when dealing with animals.
Right.
And then after you're done there, we decided to go to Eric loves beer, so that's why he brought it up earlier. But we went to Historic Barrel and Bottle House, and that is a brewery.
Yeah, that was a pretty good brewery. I didn't know it was a brewery. I thought it was just like a restaurant. But the setup is kind of interesting because it's like a bar brewery in the front, and in the back, literally the back side of the block, of the restaurant, serve food like kind of together, like use the same kitchen. I think I'm assuming. So the Historic Barrel and Bottle House, if you love beer, this is a must for you. The food was good, but they had a smaller menu, so there's not as much to choose from. It was kid friendly. They did have some foosball and a roll and score and a shooting gallery, but then you need to bring quarters. So we didn't have quarters. We couldn't play. We never carry cash, so that was kind of, I don't know. Nobody carries cash. So that part doesn't make sense to me. But we ate outdoors and it was beautiful. Eric can talk about the beer because I don't really drink beer. Yeah, the beer was good. Like they have a lot of like local IPAs that freshly brewed. I didn't realize it was a brewery until we got there. And I love beer, but I try not to drink that much beer. And so I decided to order old fashioned. They had that special, and honestly, it was a mistake because it didn't taste that good. Like he literally just the bartender was super cool, but the bartender, it's a pre-made old fashioned, so it's like in a bottle, just pour it.
He told you it was sweet, didn't he?
No, he told me it was sweet, but he didn't tell me like it was like pre-made. But anyway, so that was okay. Like it wasn't the best old fashioned. Honestly, it wasn't my favorite. So anyway, then I got beer after, and the beer was amazing. So you're at a brewery, you order beer, but the beer was awesome. The pizza was pretty good. We ordered like a pepperoni pizza for the kids, but it comes with like those big fat pepperonis.
Yeah, the pizza was actually
not the
really
tiny
good.
little ones, like the actual legit like big ones. So the pizza was really good. It went really well with the beer. The kids had a lot of fun. The kids drank. But anyway, overall the food is good. The experience good. The ambience of the where we sat and enjoyed. Our food was good. It was outside. The weather was nice. Now the only thing that was a little bit annoying is that when we first got there, it was around 5:30. So we're kind of early. When you have kids, for us, we eat kind of early. It wasn't that crowded because the thing is at the brewery you have to order at the bar. So there wasn't a line yet. Well, there was a couple people in front of us, but it wasn't like a line. And so like when I tried to go back and order a second beer, I had to stand, and the line was like probably like I don't know 7, 8 people in front of me. Versus like ordering through like a waiter at a restaurant. The Family Frontier was structured kind of the same, so I don't know if that's like no. The other couple restaurants we went to had a waitress. I don't know. Maybe that's like Family Frontier and that Barrel House was kind of similar. Yeah, it could be a staffing thing. Other than that, it was still really, really fun. We had a good time at that restaurant. Food was good. Drinks was good. There's this restaurant called Pine Country Restaurant. Pine Country or Pine? Pine. Oh, Pine. No. Pine Country Restaurant. They're known for their homemade pies. To name a couple, lemon meringue, chocolate covered cherry cream, cookies and cream. We tried to get the cookies and cream, but they ran out. So that one must be really good. Key lime pie,
pie, coconut cream, Dutch apple, and triple layer chocolate. I mean, they have like 100 or something. I don't know, something crazy. But we went in there, ordered a two. Obviously, we were there like later, so I don't know if that's why there was not as many options available. But we got like a cherry chocolate one, and then I think a raspberry chocolate one.
Yeah, it's like an old school diner sort of vibe, right?
Yeah, and they're open breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so they're open early and late.
They're kind of known, like what Amanda said, they're kind of known for the pie. So we just wanted to grab dessert. But honestly, for me at least, like the pie that they have is not my favorite pie. It's like if you're into like cream pie, you mix it with whipped cream and stuff. You just whip all the ingredients up in it. Boom. If you like that kind of like cream pie, then I think that's pretty good.
Well, I enjoyed the raspberry chocolate.
Yeah.
I think it was raspberry chocolate. The cherry one, I wasn't as big of a fan. I don't know.
I think your mom makes better ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I hope my mom hears this podcast.
Yeah. I'm just telling the truth though. I could be just really full
from the beer.
Yeah. But feel free to try it out. You know, it's literally across the street from the brewery restaurant that we ate at.
Yeah, and if you guys, it's all like Eric said, Williams is super tiny. So, like, across the street from there is a zip line. So, I mean, if you're super full, I wouldn't do a zip line, but that's an option to do after or even before you eat. We did not do it, but it looks really fun.
Yeah, I don't know what the population size in William is, or Williams. We can find out.
All right, so now we're at day 3. Again, we are staying at Raptor Ranch. We're camping with our trailer. From Raptor Ranch, we got some breakfast at S&J Mobile Cafe, and then we headed over straight to Grand Canyon. And we got there around 9 a.m.
About what, 30, 45 minutes?
Something like that,
About 45 minutes from our campsite. For some reason, I thought it was like a lot closer. I thought it was like 20 minutes, 50 minutes, but it's actually another like 45 to an hour.
They say from Raptor Ranch, it's 20 minutes to the gate.
Yes.
We went to Grand Canyon Visitor Center.
That's true.
So we went to the Visitor Center to pick up the Junior Ranger booklet for the kids to work on during our stay there. We got the booklets, and then from Grand Canyon Visitor Center, we walked to Mather Point, which is one of like the views that you can go check out. There, they worked on their booklet, and then from Mather Point, we continued on to the Rim Trail. So the Junior Ranger program is most state parks, national parks, conservations will have it. Check the websites. Usually you go to the visitor center and pick up the booklet. Your kids work on the booklet.
It's a junior ranger program.
Yes.
Right.
And once they finish the booklet, you take it to the visitor center. The ranger will go through it. They will pledge them in, and then they will receive a badge. So we've kind of dabbled in the booklets before, but I never turned them in because they were always so young that we would never finish it. But this one was super lengthy, and I didn't think they were gonna finish it. It was 16 pages.
It was hardcore.
But yeah, I've done ones where you print it at home and you do it and then turn it in. So I mean, they're all different. You just have to look at the website. So this at Grand Canyon, you go in and get the booklet, you work on the booklet, and it makes it fun for the kids when you're walking around and stuff. You look for animals, you draw pictures of what you see. Do you hear anything? What do you hear that you wouldn't normally hear at home? It's an educational thing where, you know, pick up trash, don't litter, take care of the earth, take care of the animals. Right. And
yeah, it's almost kind of like a scavenger hunt. It really just kind of give them something to do.
Yes.
You know, and like we'll go through all these different trails and things like that. And there was like what Amanda was saying, they will be constantly looking for specific items.
They had like a bingo with pictures.
Yeah.
So they were trying to find every single thing on there.
So it's a good way to keep them occupied.
Yeah. Our 7-year-old was like much more into it. And so our 5-year-old, he was pretty into it, but there's some parts that is like pretty advanced. Like they had to do a haiku.
Yeah.
I mean, mean, even for my 7-year-old, that was.
Yeah.
I mean, he was good at it, but
Well,
still,
Enzo cannot really. He's
yeah.
not gonna. Like, he didn't
And then
really
they
know.
had to write a poem. So those two were like the hardest ones for them.
Yeah.
But you know, you kind of just help them out.
But with you know, at the end, I think it was really cool because when they got sworn in, you know, they actually have a wooden badge, and it was a really nice badge. The kids loved it. They had a good
Yes,
time.
they were
Yeah.
excited. So that was their first
That's a
ever.
good reward. Yeah.
And then also, I forgot to mention before we got to Grand Canyon, I had previously known about, but I saw this Grand Canyon chocolate factory on the side of the road,
Yeah.
and I looked it up and it had really good reviews. So I said, hey kids, if you guys are really good and you're not complaining or whining and you're behaving, you have good behavior, you're listening, we'll stop and get some gelato. It was like a motive for them to get. They had something to work towards, so they finished their booklet. One reward was the Junior Ranger badge, and then they also knew they could get gelato after too.
Yeah, and it's like literally right outside the park in the roundabout area, so very easy to get to. Very good gelato too.
Yeah, so going back to our stay there, we were only there for 4 hours. So if you have a short amount of time, this itinerary was pretty helpful, and it kind of went with the filling out the booklet. So if you have kids and you want to do the booklet, this is the way we did it, and it worked out really well. They were able to finish the whole 16-page booklet within those 4 hours.
Yeah, and if you haven't been to the Grand Canyon before, I would recommend you stay a little bit longer. Like, because the reason why we decided to just day trip, because we've been there kind of a lot of times, to be honest.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, so
but it was our kids'
it was really
first
for
time.
it was our kids' first time. And so like if you haven't been there at all, I would recommend you stay there for like a night, maybe 2 nights. They have a hotel inside the Grand Canyon, or you can come back outside. There's a bunch of different like hotels, motels all along the way. Because the Grand Canyon, the South Rim is so big. There's so much to do, especially if you're into like hiking and things like that. There's a lot of trails for all levels. And also the reason too is when we left the park, right? The line at the entrance was crazy long.
It was
crazy, crazy long. So, if you
Get
guys
there early.
if you guys gonna go, get there early. We got there like around 9 a.m., right? Something like that. Yeah, and it wasn't that bad. It was like maybe like 5 cars in front of us. When we left, it was like probably like 20 cars plus 20, 30 cars.
We left
No joke.
around 1:30, but their website actually says arrive at the entrance either before 10 a.m. or after 2. But we left at 1:30 and it was so long.
Yeah.
So I think they're open 24 hours. It's just the business is closed.
Are they 24? I don't think they're 24 hours. Right?
Yeah, they have a hotel there.
That is true.
I don't think they close a gate, or I don't know. I mean, we never stayed in there. We always just do like day trips and stuff. But yeah, your pass.
Oh,
it does last 7 days, so you can go in and out 7 days, so you don't have to stay in there.
Yeah. So I mean, most national parks are like that. Couple of days. What's crazy though, one of the good highlights beside the Junior Ranger badge is like we saw 2 female elks. I think they're called cows. I don't know if they're like the babies. No, I swear, I looked it up before. But anyway, like the elk was super. It was huge. I mean, it was our first time, seeing an elk in person, like that close. Like it was literally walking maybe like 5 feet away from us, and it was it was just kind of doing its thing. Like she's not even scared or whatever.
They were eating.
I think they're just kind of used to kind of domesticated, sort of, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Kind of used to the crowd, I think, but they're just walking, eating grass, and
like
doing their thing.
We're not even bothering them. They weren't even looking at us.
Enzo was like following so close. I was like, "Hey, get over here!" Because the elk is huge. I didn't realize they're that big. He's still kind of tiny. He can easily just get kicked.
Yeah.
It's like, Enzo, you're too close. But he was just super curious.
So we saw them while we were walking down the rim trail. So we walked from Mather Point to Yavapai Point, and then around Yavapai Point is where we saw the elk off the rim trail. And then from there, we just caught the shuttle bus back to the Grand Canyon Visitor Center.
Yeah.
We brought lunch, so we just had a picnic there. And the kids worked on their booklets some more. And then they found like 2 squirrels, and they were like messing with them, like playing with them, hide and seek and stuff.
Yeah, that's funny.
And they're like trying to feed them, but I'm like, no, don't feed them. Eat your own food. After lunch, we finished up the day at Grand Canyon Village. We drove there, but you can take the shuttle. There's not that much parking, so
yeah,
we had to drive around a few times, and we were able to find something, but there's really not that much parking. So if you don't want to deal with that, then I would just take the shuttle from the Grand Canyon Visitor Center. So Grand Canyon Visitor Center closes at noon, so they're open from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. But that's why you kind of have to go. There's a part in the booklet that you have to go to the village anyways. But finishing up there is better because you can just go to Verkamp's Visitor Center, which they're open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and turn in your booklets to get pledged in. So that's why that kind of works better. We drove to the village. The kids finished the rest of their booklet and we turned them in. They got pledged in, received their first badge. And then from there, it was around 1:30 and we left. And since they did such an amazing job, we treated them for some gelato at Grand Canyon Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
And it was actually super good gelato. And because it's called a chocolate factory, you think it's just chocolate, but I think the main thing people get is gelato. Because the reviews that I saw on Yelp was all like the gelato was amazing. So that's the only thing we got, but they do have fudge and different snacks as well. And there also is a coffee shop connected to the chocolate factory. So you can always get a pick-me-up if you need it. And then from the chocolate factory, we went to Nanny's Tacos. So we drove from Grand Canyon back to Williams, the town. And I think, what is that, like 40 minutes?
No, it was probably an hour. Because, because our campsite is kind of in between. And so I would say about 45 minutes from Grand Canyon back to our campsite. From our campsite to Williams, about 20-30 minutes. So I would say an hour.
Yeah, so
give or take. But it's a very easy drive. I mean, just a straight shot, you know. So we went over there. The kids took a nap.
Yeah. So they needed it so bad.
It was a power nap.
Very tiring.
Because they're so excited, and they wake up really early. But after Grand Canyon, it was a lot. They
lots of walking, lots of stimulation,
and so they took a nap. So it was a good nap, a good power nap, like good 45 minutes. And then when we got to Williams, they woke up kind of rejuvenated again. And then we had tacos at
Nanny's Tacos.
It was really good.
Nanny's Tacos is authentic Chihuahua Mexican cuisine. So that was exciting. I was excited to try that. And these aren't street tacos. They're regular tacos.
Regular size.
And they are open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We obviously went there for dinner.
Yeah.
And for the sole purpose of trying out tacos.
Yeah, it's kind of like a hole in the wall, like mom and pop type of setting. So it's really, really cool.
And it's smaller.
Food is good.
Yes,
food is good.
It was so good. And
very good.
They do have a kids menu, so they cater to kids as well.
Yeah, the restaurant is not that big. I would say maybe a good, I don't know,
like 8
to 10 tables.
Gosh, it was really tiny.
Yeah. Well, the whole town is tiny, so like a lot of these restaurants are not that big unless if it's like more well established, type of setup. But these mom and pop, they're kind of small.
Yeah, so
very good food though.
We did mention that they had a kids menu, so the boys shared a quesadilla and fries, and it was huge. It was like a regular big adult quesadilla. So one of the kids' meals fed both of them. And then Eric and I tried like 4 tacos that sounded good. My favorite was the quesabirria. I don't even know if I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
Quesabirria.
That was one of the marinated
shredded beef with
yeah.
cheese, onions, and cilantro, and it was so delicious. Like I actually want to eat that right now, honestly. And then we had the shrimp ones, carne asada, and the fish. I think Eric liked the fish one, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're all really good in my opinion. I think it's worth the try. And I think I would say the shrimp would be probably my favorite. I do like the shredded beef one though. That was really good.
That one, number one, like you must try.
The carne asada, it's okay. Yeah. But I like the other two.
Well, the reason why I thought he liked the fish is because he ordered it again. You didn't order the
No,
shrimp.
the fish is good.
Okay. Yeah. Well, quesadilla and shrimp and the fish were our tops then.
Right. And our kids had
that quesadilla.
Quesadilla and a first time trying the Mexican Coke, right? Coca-Cola. We usually don't feed our kids soda, but we're on vacation and they earned it. We reward them with a Mexican Coke. I don't even know if they like it.
Zion did not like it. Enzo liked it.
Yeah. So, and then after that, I think we walked around, right? We walked around the town. We went to was it day 1 or day 2? We went to
day 2. We went to this gas station museum, which was like super disappointing. I don't know. Enzo's been really into like, what does an old telephone look like? How did people shower back in the days? You know, so like I like taking him to these like museums where they showcase like really old stuff, and I was hoping there would be like more stuff, but it was like
no, it was super tiny. It was
so
really,
tiny.
Really, like imagine like a store, corner, convenience store, like a small one. You literally just walk in and they just have stuff, all like vintage stuff display. Yeah, that's really what it was. I don't know why it was called museum. It's more like a store.
I mean, go check it out, but I mean, if you don't have the time, I would just skip it. It's not that interesting.
Or you can just drive past it.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
But overall, I mean, I think it's really cool. I mean, if you haven't been to, Williams is a nice small town to check out, historic. I guess that's where the old
Route 66.
Route 66, back in the days.
So let us know what you think of this itinerary. What did you like? What do you think you're going to do? There is the full itinerary of our full trip that we just talked about. There's a document in the description, so check that out if you'd like. If you like what we do, please follow us. If you have other friends that like to travel, share this podcast with them and help get our podcast out there.
Yeah, if you're more a visual person, we also have a YouTube channel called The Kohana. It's on our YouTube channel. We have a bunch of content on there, and we document all the trips that we go to. This podcast is a new format, so we're just trying it out. But if you like something more visual, check out our YouTube website or follow us on Instagram at Kohana, right?
Yeah, and we do a lot of like Arizona, Utah, Nevada,
mostly Southwest.
Yeah,
but we do travel outside Canada, Hawaii, just different places. But we generally try to stay within the Southwest. It's just easier with our schedule for now. You never know, right? So yeah, be sure to subscribe and share.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Bye.